One thing that most people don't know is that before an ADHD client even sit in your therapy chair, their subconscious have been heavily programmed by a lifetime of friction in a neurotypical world. Now, researchers estimate that by age 12, in school alone, children with ADHD receive on average 20,000 more negative messages about themselves than the average kid. That's a lot. And it's not just that the kids get hurt feelings. Those are profound, repeated hypnotic suggestions embedded during the highly suggestible childhood years. Comments like, why can't you just do it? Or you've got so much potential if you applied yourself. Or you're too loud. Or you're careless. Just stop moving all around. Just stand still. It's on and on and on. And all of those things, all those suggestions and negativity thrown at them bypass the critical factors and they start to form core negative feelings. By the time an ADHD adult comes to us for help, they've been struggling with executive function, and they're also battling with a subconscious script that have been running on loop for decades, telling them that they're fundamentally broken or lazy or too much and all those kind of things. Because of all that negative feedback, ADHD individuals, they learn to mask, consciously or subconsciously, to suppress those natural traits because we want to fit in and because it's safer. So all the fidgeting, the oversharing, the losing of focus and all the talking too much, we try to hide it and diminish it to appear like everybody else and avoid punishment or judgment. Now, the thing is, masking, it requires a massive effort. Basically, it's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater for a long time. You're constantly fighting it, you're acting, everything is fine, and as soon as you let go, things come back with a vengeance. It's hard work. But to give you an idea, imagine that you've got a Mac computer running a software, an emulator to run Windows game. Yes, the Mac can do it, but it's going to take a lot of processing power. The fan will be spinning massively to keep up with the heat, and the battery of your laptop will drain super fast. That's what's going on. A lot of people with an ADHD brain are running a neurotypical emulator the best they can. And it is exhausting. And that's why some people, you will see them, they go to work, they go through their day, everything is fine, they hold it all together, and then they come home and they just collapse. They just melt down, they're exhausted, they just depleted all their mental and emotional energy just to be able to function like everybody else. Because again, they're forcing themselves to be who they're not. When you consider that constant messaging and the exhaustion of masking all the time, it does affect your nervous system because your ADHD brain is constantly anticipating the next time it will drop the ball, misdetailed, or be judged. Your ADHD client is pretty much living in a chronic low-grade trauma and their nervous system is stuck in survival mode. Now, here, because I mentioned trauma, I want to make it very, very clear. ADHDers often get trauma and suffer from it. Trauma does not always generate ADHD because it's a very common thing I hear all the time. It's only a minority. So for the vast majority, we're born with it. The brain has been wired that way, developed that way. So yes, then as we go along, we suffer. But the main cause of ADHD is that someone with ADHD got lucky and waited 9 months. That's pretty much it. You've got the people living with trauma all the time, stressed all the time, masking, pretending to be without all those kind of things going on. It's exhausting. It's wiping them out. So you've got a person who will see you generally with a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of symptoms going on, hypervigilant as well, and you've got to deal with that. So because when you combine that subconscious scripts of inadequacy, the exhaustion of masking, the hypervigilance going on, you've got a perfect storm for emotional dysregulation. And I know because that's what happened to me about 12 years ago, having a full-blown, what also was a nervous breakdown, when actually it was a massive, massive burnout when I didn't have anything left in me whatsoever. But we can recover from that. And that's the good news.